Hey, everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome back to Woo² here at Inside the Wooniverse with me and my executive producer, Connie Diletti. Our theme for Woo² is the spirit of your business. And we've gotten so many, apparently, oh my gosh, hundreds and hundreds of questions because we sent out a survey about what you guys wanted me to talk about. And this was so on the top. So I am going to be launching a class called The Spirit of Your Business, and why not talk about it? So, Connie, I don't know what questions you have for me. Let's just get started.
Sure. So, our first question comes from someone who said they've been in the corporate world for 14 years. They lost their job and now they're looking to get started with a business, but they're not even sure where to get started and how to discern what direction to go into to even find something they're passionate about.
Oh, this is great.
Mm,
This is actually really great because when I used to do intuitive coaching and strategy, I had a client, and I'm allowed to share this story because she says I can,
oh,
in New York, who was a very successful uh, litigation lawyer. Like everybody in the family was a lawyer. They decided to be a lawyer, and they didn't lose their job. So similar thing, just super unhappy. Say
mm,
almost like I lost my job, but in this case, I was like I'm miserable.
mm,
I am
mhm,
so miserable. And it was like she had velvet handcuffs in this particular job. So I tried to get her to talk to me about the things that she liked. And she said the exact same question, like, I don't even know how to start. I want to do something different. I just don't even know where to start or what I
mhm,
like. And I'll tell you this, that often we don't know because we assume by looking around that we have to choose a business that exists already, right? We
mhm,
have to choose that.
mhm,
And I ask you always to start by taking a look at what you do well, but not just what you do well, because she did that amazingly, but she was miserable. She said we argue. She says we used to debate and argue and litigate at the breakfast table in my family, and so this is
mhm,
easy. But anyway, so I got her to over the course of about 2 months
mhm.
because she was very resistant because it's like, well, I can't make money at that. I can't make money at that. To finally, we drilled it down because she was just so frustrated by the end of it is that she liked to bake pies.
Mm,
I said, like,
okay.
"What do you like doing? Honest, what do you like doing? What do you really like doing?
Mhm,
That could possibly be business, even if you let's take it off that you're gonna deny that you're gonna do this business, right? Let's at
mhm,
least, go through all these things." And we did. We kind of explored a few things. But finally, I just said, "I know there's something that you really love doing."
mm, mhm.
And she says, "Well, honestly?" I said, "Yeah, finally, right? Yes, honestly. No, no, not
Yeah,
honest. Yes. No, of course,
right.
honest.
Yes, yes.
Honestly," she goes, "I love more than ever, I love to bake pies."
Okay. Mhm.
So I said, "What if you could have a pie shop?" She goes, "Well, I can't have that in New York. You'll never blah," and gave me a million she always
Yes.
gives me a million reasons why not, right?
Litigate it.
And you
Yes.
will find that too when people are coming out of corporate,
Mhm,
that there's a particular transition from corporate into solopreneurship
mm,
or whatever. There's a lot of hurdles. But I mean,
mhm.
there is for anybody because you really have
Sure.
to get to the point of what do you love, right? And
Mhm,
a lot of people say, "I just don't know what I love." I said, "Well, we have to spend some time on finding out what you love."
mhm.
Anyway, so pies. So she at that moment, and I kind of felt that she'd like, "That's it," and decided to just, like, basically we ended up on pies, and she was like, "Go away."
Yeah.
And then I never heard
Like,
from her,
okay,
right?
fine.
I
Yeah.
never heard from her again. I was
Okay.
like, "Okay, fine," because we were actually that was the last session that she'd
Right.
paid for, and I'm like, "Okay, let me know if you wanna
Yeah.
drill down on this." Nope.
She's like, "No,
But
thanks."
a year and a half later,
Mm.
she had moved to Texas. She had a pie shop. She was making, I
Wow.
literally a quarter of the income that she was making in New
Mm,
York. Happy. She
mm.
has a cute little pie shop in this little
That's
town.
amazing.
She even met her soulmate there. She didn't know she was
Wow.
gay, and she
Yeah.
ended up with this beautiful partner
Mhm.
there and just like wrote me and said, "I thought I had thrown my money down the toilet with you." This is what she said to me.
A great way for any testimonial to start.
A testimonial. "I threw my money down the toilet
Yeah.
talking to you, but you changed my life." Right? And she goes, "I just need you to know that I couldn't stop dreaming about pies afterwards." And I was so
Wow.
angry. But then I started asking my friends, like, "What do
Mm.
you think?" And then
Mhm.
finally I quit my job. cashed in because she had an apartment she bought. She had money. Like this girl
Mhm.
had money. I mean, she was
Mhm.
making like I think $500,000 or
Right,
$400,000 or
right.
some crazy amount of money
Yeah.
that is like to me that's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's yeah.
Anyway, off she went, and then she just wrote me this beautiful note, and I've
Wow.
spoken to her a couple times since, and I've lost track with her because that was many, many years ago.
Mhm.
But, that was one of the stories that really hit me because and like me, I didn't wanna do this work. I
Mm.
didn't wanna be an intuitive. It was what was calling me, and now, of course, I love it. It's just amazing and whatever, but I loved music, so I had 2 paths.
Mhm.
I didn't love music less, and I still got a record deal, and I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of singers never got record deals.
Of
I still
course,
got it.
yeah.
I got 2 albums out,
Mhm.
but I had to but it was so obvious to me that that was not the path. This was the path. And then it became the thing that because part of what I teach is about, take your hustle out of your hustle. I was hustling with
Mm.
music. Boy, oh boy, was I ever hustling.
Yeah.
And this was like, if you take your hustle out of your hustle and make your business sacred,
Mm.
well, it's gonna show up in like with bright light. You'll be blinded by the light when you see what has to be next.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And there can still be you have to honor the period of time where you're unsure. Between worlds is the most extraordinary place. That's when you pray.
Mhm.
That's when you ask for signs. You say, "Show me." I had gone on my knees I don't know how many times. Like, "Show me. If I'm not the real thing, just take it away from me. Make it so obvious. I want a billboard, show it to me." And I kept getting the billboards.
I feel like this is you're starting to answer another question
Okay.
from another listener, who wanted to know, what do you do when you come across a hiccup in your business? When there's
Oh,
like you just said, like, maybe identifying, "Am I hustling?" How do you even identify if you're hustling? Or is a
well,
hustle a
I
hiccup?
don't.
Okay.
A hustle is like a fun word, like a side hustle, right?
Mhm.
Like I have a friend who has a great corporate job and she's an extraordinary dream interpreter
Mhm.
and she can, bring people to the other side and all like she is one of the most coolest woo-woo people I know, but she's got a great corporate job. That's her side hustle.
Mm.
She makes her side hustle sacred because that is a sacred relationship that she has with this particular subject matter. She loves it, she respects it,
Mm.
right? So you have a side hustle. That's just a kind of a kitschy word for, a job you have on the side of your main
Mhm.
job, right? To hustle is a very different word. It's to push, it's to push against the tide sometimes, it's to force, it's to like hustle, hustle, but it's also it can be benign,
Mhm.
but it's been overused. I think hustle culture is that, you're gonna overwork, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna work too hard, you're gonna take on too much. So I'm that word is a
Mhm.
kind of a dicey, edgy word. So if you take your hustle out of your hustle
Mhm.
and you allow for periods of rest, because that's the other thing. Hustling doesn't say I get to rest. Hustling is like you're go, go, go. You're the Duracell bunny when
Mhm.
you're hustling. Right.
So
Now,
making your side hustle sacred means what? Like, if you were to quantify that, what does that mean?
yeah, so you make your side hustle sacred is that you give it its due,
Mhm.
and then you allow it to rest. You respect its ebb as much as you respect and expect its flow.
Mhm.
You trust that when it needs something, if you run a gas, you don't yell at the gas tank, "You bad. You're
Yeah,
not you're not
or
moving
the
fast.
car.
Keep going.
Yes,
Keep
yes.
going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Put more
Mhm.
things on social media. Like look at somebody else's
Mhm.
thing and then do that."
Mhm. Mhm.
That's like let's just keep being I'm out there all the time. Like boom
Mhm.
boom 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 boom. Instead, you're like I'm gonna I'm gonna maybe take a class, take what and I always say there's no such thing as one size fits all for anybody. Where am I at? What works for me? And then go with the flow. And then when it's ebb time, when the fishermen can't go to sea, they repair their nets. Right. So it's like go and like, what do I need to repair? What do I need to polish? Maybe I just need a break and not look at it at all. And everybody needs a break. So it's really about there's an organic, natural flow and ebb of your business and some people think it's hiccups. Oh my God, my business is not working all of a sudden. But maybe you need a break for a minute. Maybe that's the time where you go, am I meeting the needs of the people I serve? Is my contribution a reflection of my ego, or if is my contribution helping the people that I said I was going to help? Where is there compassionate prosperity? Have I given to charity?
Mhm.
Have I been at all philanthropic?
Mhm.
Like that's something to think about. Because I learned about tithing in the Unity Church many years ago when I first got sober. So I'm going back 37 years ago, and I'd be going there, and they've been teaching me the laws of prosperity. And some of it's like give 10% to those in need. In this case, they think they wanted 10% to their church, which was whatever, who cares? But
Right.
for me, there was like a built-in mechanism that you
Mhm.
have to keep it flowing.
Mhm.
And if you're at your bottom dollar, go help somebody with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's always worked for me.
Mhm.
So that's also part of it. Like, where have I just, if I, am I hoarding my energy? Am I spending my currency? Like, remember your currency,
Mhm.
there's an energetic currency between you, your contribution, money, etc.
Mhm.
And you need to take breaks. If you are not taking your breaks, that can lead to a big giant hiccup, because the business is going to say, okay, that's it. We're not sending you people.
So, looking at a hiccup as an invitation for
Yes.
not action, but for contemplation, for observation, rest, like
It is an action. Here's
yeah,
the other thing. That is an action.
okay.
Contemplation,
Mhm,
rest,
mhm,
100%. That's an action. And trust is an action.
mm.
Faith has to be an action, because I really believe that. And again, people who are listening to this, that, I mean, you're definitely listening to a woo podcast. Okay. We're called
We're the
Woo² for
Wooniverse,
God's
yeah,
sakes.
yes, and Woo²,
And
that's
we're
right.
the Wooniverse.
Yeah.
If spirituality is not infused in my business, it's not my business. Do you know what I mean? Even like the
Mhm,
real businessy things I do,
mhm,
I am talking to business people like this, right?
mhm,
So this is
mhm,
always going to have, spirit is going to be everywhere.
mhm,
And if I'm not praying and meditating, and if I've been exhausted or burnt out, then I need to take a break, because the business is going to suffer.
mm,
So it's an opportunity to do something different. Everything is always an action, even non action is an action. So when I say hustle, take the hustle out of your hustle, because it's my hustle. I love those words, hustle. I love hustle. I love the word hustle. Like, do the
it's
hustle.
fun.
Doo,
Yeah,
doo,
yeah.
doo,
Do,
doo,
do,
doo.
do, 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 yeah.
Shows my age, shows
Yeah.
my age.
It's a
The
great
young
song,
people
though,
listening
come
to
on.
this show, like, what is she talking about?
Google disco. Okay,
Google
disco.
disco. Yes, I was alive. I was alive back then. Yeah. So it's the sense of, what does that mean? It means restorative.
Mm,
Where is the restoration? And then what if, like,
mhm,
for example, I wasn't ever planning on teaching a business class. Okay. So I always look to my audience to see, especially in the Oracle Circle membership, where people get access to me for
mhm.
$22 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous,
Yeah,
right? So
it's a great
inexpensive.
place.
And I do
Mhm,
readings and coaching for
mhm,
90 minutes twice a month, called Spirit Jam.
mhm,
And I noticed over 6 to 8 months, 80% of the questions were about their business. I said
mhm,
to Mark,
mhm.
do you think I should do this? Do you think I should actually? And he goes, he's 35 years of a very successful business,
Like,
like that they might
maybe?
need,
Yeah.
like, because I mentor some
Mhm.
up and coming
Yep.
authors and
Mhm.
speakers, etc. I got big wings. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
under my wings.
Yeah.
so, so I thought, yeah, maybe people will want that, and then I decided, because I also felt, I asked the business, my own business. I
Mhm.
said, "What do you want me to do?" And it was like, "Yes, teach a business course." Like, so I'm like, "Okay, okay," but I'm doing it my way.
Mm.
I'm not for everyone. This is
Mhm.
a very specific way
Mhm.
to dialogue with your business and to actually have a very different relationship to it. And
Mhm.
you'll start getting more ideas. That's the other thing. It's like, you are unique. Every single person
Mm.
has a unique contribution,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Every one of us has a unique contribution. So why do you have to look at somebody else and do what they do? That never works.
Mm.
Same thing with following trends. The
Mhm.
trend is gone by the time you figured out how to put it together and stick it on
For
Tick and
sure.
Talkin'.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
just you be you. And if
Mhm.
that's true, and you have to also say that you are enough, but if you're exhausted, you're not going to believe that you're enough. And you're
Right.
not going to believe the business is enough.
Mhm.
Because guess what? You can't serve your business or contribute to your clients or customers or whatever it is. And I don't even care if you sell mattresses. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
you are fried because you've
Mhm.
overworked and you've pushed it, and then you start believing in the lack, because that's all you're seeing.
Mhm.
And when really the lack is saying to you, relax, or maybe do something else.
Mhm.
But the something else first is take a break. That's your
Mhm.
number one priority, is rest.
Mhm.
Rest has to be built in. We pay our employees when, we 6 weeks holidays.
Mhm.
Like, Go away. Like, they're like, "What? We can't even make you guys take holidays
I know.
sometimes." Right?
I mean, we're like,
It's
"No."
like, go, make
Go.
sure we have it on the
Yeah.
calendar because we know you
Mhm.
cannot go at the pace,
Yeah.
pace,
Mhm.
pace, pace. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so in conclusion, when you look at how do you make your business sacred, you treat it like it's a sacred thing.
Mhm.
You treat it like it's a God-given gift to you
Mm.
that you get to do. Like, wow, this is
Yeah.
how I see this.
Mhm.
I get to talk to you and
Yeah.
I get to have listeners to
Mhm.
talk about things that work. That's the other thing. I know what doesn't work too. Because I know what doesn't work is when you try to keep pushing forward and then you don't get results.
Mm.
Like we've pivoted a number of times. When the pandemic
Yeah.
came, we had to pivot.
Mhm.
We had to
Mhm.
cancel all our in-person events and we just
Yeah.
took a risk. And then all of a sudden Oracle Palooza Virtual was born and we had thousands of people from 53 countries attend. I've never had thousands of people from 53 countries up until, come
Mhm.
to a paid event. I had like tops maybe 400 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Incredible.
But it's that risk what do you need? And you felt it in your body and like, "Okay, I need to take a risk and I don't know where this is going." That's the other thing I think. I think because okay, so in my school, in Oracle school, we're in level 2 right now. And it turned out last night, I think we had 7 engineers in class that are
Wow.
like exploring woo-woo, and they were talking about how I'm an engineer and this is effing my head up.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Like, but I know it's working. I'm not sure
Mhm.
because 'cause they're trying to figure it out, like, there's a system.
Calculations,
The
sure.
calculate you
Yeah.
can't always calculate, like, there's this
Mhm.
invisible like, look at, radio
Mhm.
waves, hello,
Yeah.
like, the quantum, like,
Mhm.
you have to trust that this weird I don't know how 100% it works, but but we have enough evidence that it's working, and our
Yes.
tagline, and I hope we don't have to bleep it out, I don't
Yeah.
think we have to, is, "You can't make this shit up." That's our
Mhm.
tagline in level 2
Mm.
in my school is what people say that's like, "You can't
Mhm.
make this shit up." You can't.
Mhm.
So, it's the same thing, and when you start dialoguing with your business, it's freaky, and it's like, "Wow, how come I didn't listen to this before?" And you realize, "Oh, it wants me to pivot. It might want me to go a little bit that way." Maybe
Mhm.
it's not, to put all those catchphrases and things on social media. Maybe it's just to be maybe I'm enough. Maybe I can just do this and do it
Mhm.
my way instead of however everyone else is doing it. Right? So that's the other thing. It's very interesting if we can see that this is a gift. If you have an inspiration for a business, you were given that by spirit. Inspiration means of the spirit. I have been given this gift the vehicle to for my contribution. My soul gave me this from this, heavenly whatever
Mhm.
whatever you wanna think it is. I'm
Mhm.
not religious at all, I'm spiritual, but it's like this again, and I'm also like, totally nerdy, so I really
Mhm.
believe it's like this conscious matrix,
Mhm.
this that's
Absolutely.
alive and
Mhm.
talking through us.
Mhm.
Make it special. Treat it like you mean it. And thank the universe for this thing. Thank you. How do I serve? This morning I was tired. I didn't sleep last night. It's been a couple of nights. I don't know what's going on with me. And I don't do well unless I have 8 hours of sleep.
Mhm.
And I was a little frazzled, like frazzle plus this morning. I literally got on my knees in my bedroom. Show me how to serve. Just show me how to serve. I'm of myself. I am nothing. The universe doeth the work through me. Thy would be done through me. Oh, and I could just relax. Like, oh, wait, I'm not the only one here. That's the other thing. We think we're the only one. No, spirit's your partner. And
Mhm.
guess how your partner serves you? Gave you a vehicle, your ideas. Okay, fine. Right. So
Mhm.
that's how you go. You have to see where does it want to go. You still have the reins. You're not going to have a runaway horse,
Mhm.
but maybe, just maybe the road you're on, that the wagon says you get to get off here. Go have a
Get ready.
picnic.